Now you mentioned hanging at a mansion with Fabulous and BMF.
Oh yeah, Big Meech, the whole
Big
crew.
Meech.
Yep, on the set, free Meech, free Big Meech.
Okay.
Yeah, it's footage. It's footage on the internet from I believe my Bangadocious DVD that kind of like covers that little phase.
Oh, and were you recording or what all
Yeah,
was
we
going on?
recorded. We did a lot of recording. Went to the strip club. I watched them throw the double digit 60, 70,000 on the ground in 2 hours. I've been in the strip club with Blue, and everybody in that black except two white boys look like you, got fitted caps on like you, polo shirts, just staring at the crew. But Blue slapped me, throwing money on them. Like, look how we do the Fed, Spider. They not drinking no drinks. They just staring at us. So I experienced that.
So the feds were following
Oh yeah,
them around.
Meech told me this shit was on. It was coming. He let me know his time was coming. He knew
Damn.
it. Yeah, he knew it.
How did you meet Big Meech and everything?
I met Big Meech because, Blue Da Vinci is from 190, from 190 East Coast. So when Blue met Meech, shortly thereafter, I met Meech through Blue. Way before they blew up and became the mega machine that they came. Of course, it was in California, so Meech was already moving around, but all the big shine and flamboyance hadn't attached to what they was doing yet. I guess he was still building, putting himself in a position to really step out like he eventually stepped out. So, and when he was thinking about forming a label, and he had some affiliation with some of the people Blue. It's a whole lot of our mutual friends that are affiliated within that circle outside of the direct BMF movement. So they had a clash of, and I don't mean clash in a negative way, they had a combine of like cultures, and shit got to developing and popping. So, early on, before Blue actually left California and started traveling with them niggas, he was out here with them. And he used to hit me, I used to sell weed back then. Not no big old major amounts of weeds. I'm talking about like buying an ounce, getting one fronted to me. But Blue would call me, like, you got some weed, cuz? I'm like, yeah. And I come through, and it was Meech. Not knowing it was Meech, he'll buy all my weed. But he'll be in the house over there in Gardena with no furniture, ain't no nothing in there. They looked like they was just on some like, now when you look back, you see exactly what they was on. But back then it wasn't obvious what they was finna do. However, this is what Blue used to say. We used to fuck with Wino, Lower Class Records from 190. That was our homie, our big homie. And he was like the first nigga that had some real push in the industry. And so he was trying to extend it to the homies and fuck with homies. So Blue was from 190, I'm from 97, but we was fucking with Wino. And shout out Spade too, there was a group called the Lower Class, Hard Time Records. And it got to a point where, through this label shit, Blue and Spade was frustrated with Wino, and then Blue met Meech and them, and he used to get at me and Spade like, cuz fuck Wino, cuz the niggas I fucking with, cuz they gonna do my music, but they don't give a fuck about music. Come fuck with me, come fuck with us. Not knowing what we really getting invited to, we had the invitation to come jump on that shit as early as Blue did. But I'm gonna say, my ignorant mind, had I had a projection of what they were doing, I would've went. But I didn't see it as nothing to even finna be that enough to go. It looked at like, why would I shake Wino shit to go fuck with that? Because Blue was kind of vague about why he was so, convinced that it's finna pop. He was vague. He was just like, these niggas don't give a fuck about no rap, but they gonna put my music out. And he was just making it sound like that. So as enticing as it might have sounded, Wino was a established Grammy winning producer with Coolio. You go to Wino House, everybody from Trady, Dub C, Daz, Sibo. He had all, it was like, man, we not finna run off with these street niggas to go. And then, it still turned out to be, I believe, a wiser decision, because I could imagine my involvement early on, the way as deep in as Blue got, just the relationship I developed with Meech in a short period of time. Psh, free Big Meech. Niggas know, Big Meech know. I cannot get on this camera and talk this casual and confident about my rapport with him if it's not authentic and official. I would never misrepresent or overrepresent myself and my connection to nobody.
Do you have a favorite time hanging out with him or anything?
Yeah, it's my favorite memory of Big Meech, and I have multiple memories, but I would share my favorite. I told you about my encounter with him way back when Blue first met him. Now, it turned into a time frame where I was hearing about Big Meech and BMF, and I really had no idea who this guy was or what he looked like. Not having no idea he was that guy. And then even when I became familiar through media, magazine, what he looked like, I still didn't connect it to any of the guys back there in Gardena. Never crossed my mind. So here it is. I haven't seen Blue in maybe 5-6 years, and I know he's Blue Da Vinci BMF, and I popped up at a party in Miami called Heaven on Earth. It was Blue's birthday. I don't even want to try to describe how extravagant the party was. It was so fly. First of all, they had 100 females walking around in white bikinis with angel wings on, with Blue name on their bras and on their ass. They had Blue picture across that motherfucker everywhere. It was packed elbow to elbow. Hadn't seen Blue in about 5, 6, 7 years. So I pop up, and I remember my first initial move was to make my way to the front of the stage while they was on stage. And you know how you give a nigga like a screw face, that while he up going back and forth on the stage, he kind of catch the face, like trying to see that energy. And he finally seen, who the fuck looking at me like this? And Blue had the moment to focus, see it was me. He invited me up on stage. We have a reunion, and whoop, 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 I'm on the stage. It's a gang of BMF niggas. We just talking and politicking, whoop, whoop, whoop. And this one particular nigga come up to me, shout out Big T. And he was talking to Big T. And Big T was somebody I had recently did some business with through the homie Rocket from 190. Shout out to the homie Rocket. And Big T had recently put some money in my pocket. So Big T on the stage, and some niggas next to Big T, they calling me over there. And the nigga that Big T is talking to, I guess Big T is telling him, oh yeah, I just broke bread with Spider not too long ago. But the nigga is telling me to tell Big T, Spider, tell this nigga how far we go back. Now, all I know is he got to be referring to them early days when I used to come over there and sell the weed. So I just very vaguely chime in, like, yeah, Gardena, I remember day one, woo, woo, woo. So that's the end of that. I walk away from that little encounter. I'm on the stage for about 10, 15 more minutes before I realized that was Big Meech trying to tell another nigga, Spider, tell this nigga how far we go back. And I just appreciate that, because as another thing, nigga, I used to catch, when you go to Meech, you bump into Meech in Miami, he got homes, mansions, and all that, but he want to go on South Beach. He finna stay in that same hotel where Scarface was up in the motherfucking shower, in the motherfucking, it's a suite now. They done redid that room. He has that room when he go.
Oh, where he was about to get cut up and everything?
Yeah. It's a
No
whole
way.
Yeah, and this type of nigga Big Meech is, when I come to see him in Miami, not only do he have some of the flyest women that I know from LA sprinkled across the room, you thinking like, how the fuck, what is you doing here? He used to have a big ass box of the best LA weed, cuz, and like, no matter what state he was in, and he used to do me like this. He'd be like, I'll be leaving, he'd be like, Sparta, get you some weed. So you'll go in there, you know, they have like the party cups that you drink drinks out of. Somebody give you a cup, you'll reach in the box and put a little weed. He'd be like, fuck that, cuz, get you some weed. And Meech used to make me stuff the motherfucking cup, cuz. Just small things like that, cuz as much praise as the streets and the world and the industry give him, and we all look up to him as such a major thing, cuz we used to move so humble. He had a humble arrogance that I only saw like on him and Nipsey. They knew how to be that cold nigga but still be humble. And you gotta appreciate that about niggas that command so much respect, when they know how to be humble and return it.
Man, sounds like good times, man.
Great times.